You're watching Weath Magazine, Business Access, the #1 business program on TV.
Hi, welcome to Weath Magazine's Business Access. I'm Cora Jane. Today we take a look at the official launch of Camp Millionaire for young, eager entrepreneurs. And appropriately, we talk with the president of the Young Entrepreneurs Association, Samuel Coates. Hear the story of how this customs broker left high school prematurely and made some early attempts at entrepreneurship.
I had to go out there and fend for the family, so I used to push on carts and stuff. I used to carry baskets on my head. This is when you go to the market and you help assist persons with a basket and they pay you and stuff like that. And I also used to tour, show tourists around Montego Bay, and then I started to earn US dollars.
How old were you then?
13.
You're 13, wow, okay. Welcome to Business Access. Today we have Mr. Samuel Coates, CEO of Coates Logistics Limited. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now this person who's sitting in front of me from the young age of 15 showed the knack of entrepreneurship when you started doing your own tours for tourists. But before we go to that, I know you grew up in the second city, Montego Bay, so I'd like you to tell me some more of that.
I born and grew up in Montego Bay, St. James. I attended formal age school, and then I went to, at the time it was called St. James Secondary School, now it's St. James High School. I left school at approximately 13 years old. I was the first one of my family, and I had to go out there and fend for the family, so I used to push on carts and stuff. So I oftentimes said I started out in the logistics business from then. I used to carry baskets on my head. This is when you go to the market and you help assist persons with a basket and they pay you and stuff like that. And I also used to tour, show tourists around Montego Bay, and then I started to earn US dollars.
How old were you then?
13.
You're 13, wow, okay.
When you're a youngster back then, if you don't go the traditional route of academics, what you do, you go and learn a trade.
A trade, right. There's something important I want you to talk about, and that is the aspect of education as opposed to experience, because there are several successful people in this world and in business. You have Bill Gates, you have Henry Ford, who didn't go all the way with school, and they have become extremely successful.
You see, one of the things is that there's a misconception of education. Persons tend to define education with academic achievement. If I have a degree or a master's, etc. Education is about learning, it's about knowledge.
Life education,
it's
right?
knowledge. Education is knowledge. So whether you learn it by going to school to learn 101 is 2, or you learn it from somebody on the road or experience that 101 is 2, it is knowledge. And the thing is that a lot of other employers will tell you that they have a difficulty employing a lot of persons who, quote unquote, are educated, because they're not able to apply whatever they learn, or whatever they learn, they think that's it, and not trying to transition and understand what is happening in the real world.
Right.
You made mention of a lot of successful people, and they're not really, quote unquote, have a master's degree.
Right.
I've oftentimes used the analogy of Gordon Booth Stewart, and I read on his life, and his highest formal education is a diploma in marketing. Now, as a chairman of Sanders Group, or all the various companies that he has, he sits at the table, and you have the HR expert, the accountant expert, the marketing expert, all these experts, as he hired the best people, and they're giving him information. And he now has to process all that information from the various individuals and take a decision. Who is brighter? You have to have the capacity to process all that information and take a decision. Like, for example, when he bought the first hotel chain, Sanders Hotel, person said it was a bad investment. But he thought that it's the first of many to come. Right. So there's something about us as entrepreneurs that talk about this innate ability, or you'd say the gut feeling. But it's important that you educate yourself along the way. So it's important that you have that balance. So you educate yourself, have life experiences, and they go both and dinner.
You talk about Butch Stewart, and he had vision.
Right.
He had vision, so he made decisions that perhaps wasn't popular
Right.
at the beginning, but it later turned out to be extremely successful. One of the things I do want to know, though, when you moved to Kingston, having not had gone through your education, did people hold that against you?
As I said before, I was a confident individual. When I was coming to Kingston, I recall on the bus it said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all other things shall be added." So what I did, I spent a lot of time reading the book of Proverbs because it said Solomon was the wisest man. I wanted to know why. But what happened, Solomon didn't ask for wealth, education, or anything. He asked for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and discretion. And that's what I've asked for. The reality is, once you apply yourself, and for me, it's all about continuous learning. And there's a senior senator in an organization I'm a part of named R. Donald Williams. When I read R. Donald Williams' autobiography, it changed my life because his highest formal education was sixth form at JC's, but he did all these other insurance courses, so he has no degree or anything. And I said, but if he built LOJ without the formal system, then I could do it as well. I'm not saying that he didn't study and do other stuff, I'm talking formally. And that's when I got the confidence that I can do it as well. And I recall I was talking to him one day, and he said, young bright men like you need to. And I said, him saying I'm bright, then I'm bright.
Then you might be right. You've mentioned quite a few names. How important do you think it is for entrepreneurs to have people to look up to and to emulate?
It's important. My mentor is Elon Beckford. Elon Beckford is a guy who gave me a break in life as a JCI member, as a businessman, as a father, as a man. He taught me the ropes of how to do business and ensure that you maintain integrity. And I'm happy to say with his insistence, because I can't lie to him, he shall recall say how many clients I talk to.
Exactly.
And I will tell him the truth. And my company has grown significantly since then. And his company I was working for at the time now only contribute 10% to my revenue. So if I didn't have the mentorship, if I wasn't accountable to him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And he's a man of impeccable integrity, and he taught me that. And because of that, I'm the businessman I am today, because I don't compromise as it relates to my company and my clients.
So is there someone who you are doing that for today, what he's done for you?
Yes, I have a church brother, Garfield Hogarth. I remember I spoke to him and he said, Sam, too much is given, much is required, and you need to help others. And I try to empower people and give them the opportunity to start business. I see them with the talent. I'll put in the finance and the business acumen behind it, but sometimes it just doesn't translate.
I want you to go back to 1994 when you started Coates Distributors.
I started in custom broking profession in 1993, and then in 1995 I went on my own with another individual. And then I think in 1996, there was a partnership. When you're starting out, you want to stick to some core things. I was into auto parts, farming and stuff. So what we did was to build out the custom broking and build out the haulage side, and also build out the freight forwarding side of the company. So what we did was to restructure the company to reflect what is happening in the society. So we're one of a company from early out. As I said, my background is business, so we're very strategic. We know that this whole thing of custom broking is going to become obsolete. Yeah. It's all about logistics management. So what we did then, we structure our company and prepare ourselves to be logistics solution providers. And ever since, we realized that our industry it's about purchasing, it's about sourcing, it's about connecting all of that wherever in the world. Whatever persons have to transport wherever the world, you have to be that in the supply chain person, the integrator, to ensure that you integrate that process. Subsequent to that, we built our website, which is considered a world-class website. Personally, it is one of the better websites within the industry. Subsequent to that, our company registered with Jampro. We're a registered exporter with Jampro. Our company doesn't benchmark against local companies, we benchmark against international companies. So we had an independent audit by Jampro that came in, and our company just a shade from world class. And what they said, we weren't doing enough marketing. That's the era we got the low grade on. And I've worked on that since. I'm sure if they assess us now, we are world class.
Coates Distributors is extremely successful, and you spoke about strategy and vision and good money management, not just trying to eat our food, but from an operational